Good morning, everyone. Uh, Teachers, jury members, and all my dear friends. We are students of Indian Institute of Management Studies, Noida. Let me introduce you to our team members: Anjali Mishra,
Good morning.
Saloni Sharma,
Good morning.
Namoka Shah, and Priyanka Gupta, and Nachiketa, and we are Team Switch.
Switch.
Yeah. Please start.
Fashion industry. Fashion industry is one of the most populating industries of the world. Rapidly increasing burden of fashion industry is an alarming situation for the whole planet. Approximately 1.8 trillions of water is used by fashion industry each year. 200 tons of water is needed to dye 1 ton of cotton. Only 750 million people have access to drinking water. 5.2% of waste in landfills are with textile pollution. As you can see there, as you can see the statistic data. Now, I would like to draw your attention towards the report from World Economic Forum.
Keep on.
Why swapping? Why swapping? Okay. The best part about fashion industry is they are producing clothes, and that's what is best. But do you have any idea how much pollution these industries are creating? They are creating pollution at a huge level, like huge level. So we come up with the idea. Basically, the only way to tackle this situation is reusing, reducing, and recycling. If I talk about recycling, so 80% of the textile industry is non-biodegradable. So we cannot recycle it. And if I talk about reducing, so I don't think it makes any sense because we cannot reduce the production of clothes as it is our basic necessity. And if I talk about reusing, the only option we left with is reuse. Okay. So our team come up with a solution to cope up with the heinous effect of this textile industry. In order to grow, we need to change. The same goes with our closet. We feel happier, we feel confident, we feel amazing when we revamp our closet. But it is not possible. Like we cannot afford to buy clothes on a daily basis, like when we need them, right? Okay. So our app provides you with a platform, an online platform where you can come, where you can post your ad, view ads, exchange your clothes and negotiate about the clothes. Now, I would like to call Priyanka to continue with the presentation.
Thank you, Anjali. Let me explain you the process of switching apparels on our app. Firstly, you need to join a community. That is, upload an ad about whatever you think in your closet is worthy of being exchanged. Next, discover clothes for yourself on the app. And then, contact the person, swap clothes with them. Swapping is very easy. You can either swap your clothes with a person or you can swap clothes for virtual credits. Then negotiate for a place and time where you can meet and exchange your clothes. And yes, boom, changed. Talking about the segment of our app, the audience between the age of 18 to 45, basically the young generation of the country. The target market is people with excess clothing in their closets. That is a plethora of clothes which either they do not want or do not wear, but are in perfect condition. Positioning, facilitating swapping for huge number of clothes because talking about the life cycle of a cloth. There is a report which says by the World Economic Forum that the sustainability loop of a piece of t-shirt is reduced by 60% in the last 5 years. And the only way to reduce the amount of wastage produced by this industry is increasing the number of times we use a particular piece of clothing. The marketing strategies that we will be using is obviously digital marketing, word of mouth, most importantly, and influencer marketing. Our USPs are we are a community-based system. We have a community of people who join our platform and can exchange clothes following you have on our app, we have certain levels which we reveal later. We are targeting an unsaturated market. We have no direct competitor in the market currently in India, though we have some players who are indirect competitors to us, like Flyrope, Elastic, Outlook, etc. But no direct competition right now. Our mission is to change the world one closet at a time. And obviously, vision to provide a wide variety of clothes to customers, and so that they can choose and exchange simultaneously and with a seamless experience. Moving on to the expenditure distribution, 55% of our funding will be used for website development, and 10% for miscellaneous expenses, 10% for maintaining the website and servers, and 25% for marketing and advertising. The business assumptions for the first year is, for a funding of 15 lakhs, we assume that a customer base, even if we reach 1% of the entire customer base we are targeting, that will be approximately 2,500 people, and our expected revenue with those 2,500 people would be around 8 to 10 lakhs. And the target market is obviously between the ages of 18 to 45. So moving on to the revenue model, we have subscription models, that is either you can offer a yearly basis subscription or basis on swaps. Moving on, we have virtual credits. Either you can swap one cloth with another person for another piece of clothing, or you can swap a cloth for virtual credits. In case I want to swap my piece of cloth and you have something I like, you can swap for clothes. In case you don't have something to swap with and you like my closet, you can swap and you can give me credit and Google access. Talking about the expansion and growth, right now we are currently a C2C based model, and we aim to move to a B2C model that is focusing on the dead stock. Now talking about the B2C model, we have a lot of businessmen who accumulate huge quantities of dead stock, and that actually ends up in the landfills. That doesn't have a life after that. So we are trying to give a life to that dead stock. We will be having two modes, a customer mode and a business mode. In case you're a business and you have a dead stock, you can upload that on our website, and based on how many swaps you get, you can redeem the virtual credits earned by you. Moving on, we have addition of new segments. After a few addition of new segments, we'll be moving forward, and then introduction for a switch pool. Moving on to Salon.
Thank you, Priyanka. To check the feasibility of our swapping app Switch, we took the survey through the snowball sampling method of about 10,500 respondents, and according to that survey, we got to know that 88% of males were in favor of swapping their clothes, whereas 85.5% of females were in favor of swapping. We have divided these respondents into different age groups and found out the target age group, that is below the age of 20 and between the age of 21 to 35. In the world of startups, competition is inevitable. So here comes our competitors. First is Flyrope. Flyrope is a rental-based platform providing branded and designer closets to both men and women, which is occasional. Secondly, Elastic. Elastic is a fashion-based platform providing selling and buying facilities for women to exchange or buy their pre-owned goods as well as new branded clothes. Secondly, coming to Outlook. Outlook is a fashion-based platform to transform India's fashion trends. Now, currently we do not have any apps, so we have started making a community through Instagram, Facebook, Twitter and WhatsApp. And we have actually got people who were with us, and they have asked us to upload their photos on our websites. Here is the user interface of our application, which will be launched in future. In the end, I would like to say, swipe left if you want to ditch, swipe right if you want to switch. Thank you.
I really like the idea, except for the fact that I do not agree with the fact that it's unique and in it's only one in India. There are many apps which actually do that, and OLX does it by and large.
Does
Anyway,
Craigslist
but-
still exist?
eBay used to do it. There used to be new, there used to be old, and you have two good now, right? Two, the numerical two and good, which is refurbished goods, and it will take a short time for them to actually bring clothes also in the market. But I would like to understand from you in terms of the customer journey, right? So I find, say, a 32-inch pant, which somebody else is having. I want it in linen, and I want to connect with him. So do I get the name of the person who's selling, or how do I place an order with you and you place an order with them, and then it comes to me, and how does it happen? What is the reverse logistics if at all that happens?
Sir, if you like a product, you
Yeah.
just you have a customized chat box over there.
Yeah.
There are customized messages over there. You can send that I like the product, or I want to get this product. Once you both the user swipe the switch button or swap button, you will be getting an open chat box where you can connect with people and decide and negotiate about the place and.
So what stops me from asking the person's mobile number and just connecting directly?
Sorry, sir, I didn't get your question.
In a chat bot,
Yeah.
see, in Quicker this happens, right? I mean, this is similar to what happens in Quicker. There opens up a possibility that a person sells a particular product for 1,000, I ask for 800, and the person says, call this number, right? And then we sell for 800 without Quicker charges, right? So what stops you? What's the kind of internal control that you have for that? That's a different question altogether. But I want to ask you a question, which is this the right model, or would you want to pick up the cost of, picking up the product from the seller's place, delivering the Flipkart model? Is it better for you in terms of commissions and so on and so forth?
So let me explain the Switch app again. Basically, it is a community-based system where you can join and meet the new people. Right. If you want to switch with them, like if you get some like-minded people who has the same taste and preference in clothes as of you, then you can connect to the people. You can like his feed and all. You can do all of this. So that is how we are different. Like we are a precise community-based system, like Instagram and all. So first thing is this, making it clear. Now, sir, your question was.
How are you going to monetize this?
So the thing is, we are not charging anything. If you want to switch the product with the other person, you can just go and negotiate. It do not have as any internal control. But if in any case you have doubt about the hygiene of the product and if the personal security, then you can contact us and ask for the delivery. We'll be able to deliver, but we will be charging for that. The second thing is there is no any monetary intermediations in our app. Will not tackle anything in the monetary terms. Though we have virtual credits, so we'll be tackling the virtual credits because virtual credits has a psychological aspect to the customer. So yeah.
So how are you going to monetize this? I'm still not able to understand.
I think you're running a freemium model. Basically,
Yeah.
you have free users who can negotiate on their own, and it's the Wild West for them.
Correct.
So if I'm one possible journey that a customer can have with you is that I get on, I'm like, I'm not paying these guys for anything. I like this shirt. I'm just going to negotiate directly.
Yeah.
That guy we could decide to meet at the local mall, and this guy gives me a rat-infested shirt.
Yeah.
So to give them security, to give your customer security, you have a premium service where you will take on that inventory burden. You will take the clothing that person wants, clean it, wash it. So this is what I tend to call a freemium model. It's free for most people, but they pay a premium for this. So my question is now that you are at least some part of your business model is getting into the ownership of clothing, what is the average depreciation on any piece of clothing when someone buys it? That means when I buy something retail, and then when I decide to sell it to someone else, how much depreciation does clothing go through?
Actually, so the basic concept behind this is the barter system. In the barter system, what we do is we just connect with the people. We ask for our thing of utility. Like I have utility for this thing, so I wanna get this thing, and I'll get you this thing in exchange. So what was the major disadvantage of the barter system? That you cannot find the actual person. Like if I want rice from someone but he do not want wheat from me, then what can I do? So here it comes with the digital platform. So there where you
I totally agree. That's why the barter system failed several thousand years
Yeah.
ago. So that's not the only problem with the barter system, right? It's also in the barter system we do not know how to value a good properly. The value of that particular good is dependent on what is actually available in the environment. So the value, so my question is, now that you are taking on some responsibility, as long as you have no responsibility toward the inventory and you're only about community facilitation, I find it interesting. But the minute you get to this premium thing, that your monetization strategy is to sell premium services to people, that means you're taking on an inventory responsibility. We're way past the barter system now. There is a specific value for that shirt that you just bought, and that shirt is going to be devalued when it gets sold to the next person. You are taking on that depreciation. That's why, for instance, the second service market in cars is so valuable, because we know exactly how much a car depreciates based on mileage, use, waste, wear and tear, and all of that kind of stuff. Do you have a similar model for fashion?
Yes, actually I've got a couple of questions from you. Let me answer it all in once. See, our model is like, we are connecting two users who have a plethora of goods and clothes to exchange. So initially, actually we are connecting them through, they are connecting through us. So initially there are two accounts, one is customer account and one is a business account. So in customer account, if you register as a customer, you only get to upload 10 ads of 10 clothes in your wardrobe. There's a wardrobe in our app. And you get initially 3 swaps for free. So you can swap your clothes if you, for example, you find a good ad at our app and you want to swap your clothes with them. So to connect with them, you will only see their profile, like their name, distance, and customized chat box. You won't be able to negotiate with them. So to negotiate, you have to swipe right. If the other person is also eyeballing you and is already swiped right or like your product, then then your swaps will deduct from your account and you will be able to negotiate through messages, like a full-fledged message box.
Okay.
Yeah. In business account, what we'll do is like you will get there's a subscription model in business account. It's for 999 per year. So what will we do is like you can upload as many ads as you want. You can swap as many times as you want in that account. But there's a substandards and there's also virtual currency. For example, as sir said, like I need a linen pant. For example, I have a medium shirt, t-shirt. For example, I was fat earlier. I used to wear XL. But now I lose my fat and I'm wearing medium. So I have to exchange, I have XL t-shirt and I have to exchange that XL t-shirt for medium. So we're going to do that right now. So our plan is that there's also virtual credits in our app. For example, you want to exchange your XL shirt with a medium. So you can, instead of giving that XL shirt, you can give virtual credits. The virtual credits actually we have, as we said, depreciation amount. We have said we are not depreciating the amount from the actual cost. We have actually a substandard amount rule. For example,
I don't know. Go ahead.
I'm adding on to your question, which is to find out what the actual cost is.
Exactly.
How do you determine what the actual cost is? So for example, a Louis Vuitton bag, which costs you $1,25,000, is up for a swap, right? Because I don't like the model anymore. So what would the price be, and how would you control the price and quality? So, you know, you are talking about people swapping, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, what if the other person doesn't like the quality of the product which is being swapped?
That's buyer beware.
Exactly.
But then my thing is, first of all, if you leave it, if it's like the Wild West in there and people are just swapping things and it's rat infested and my dog peed in a 1.2 lakh Louis Vuitton bag and I gave it with the dog pee to that other person, it looks bad for your platform. You're going to lose customers. So the whole thing is, I mean, you need to. So what I'm not saying, when we talk about monetization, I'm talking about money from outside getting into your system. Virtual currencies can be controlled by you. You're like the president of your own little dictatorship, and you can make that money do whatever it wants. But you need money from outside. So how? What I'm saying is this very valuable asset that you have, your clothing, that you're either buying or selling. How are you going to value that? How do you determine the value of the actual inventory you have on hand?
Actually, we have, as I said, we have substandards. Well, like for example, if you want to swipe a T-shirt, So a t-shirt, we have filters for that. T-shirt is an almost new condition, is used condition, or is bad
No,
condition.
that is more of a user defined, isn't it? Are you going to physically go and verify?
Yeah, actually, we have in our expansion strategy, we will also add dry cleaning services and logistics services in our app.
No. Even if I'm putting up this particular shirt for sale, you should have someone inspect, what is the quality of the shirt which is
Exactly.
being
See,
sold.
If you are going for the a free swap, like you will go and meet the person and then there is no internal control of us. But if you select for the premium option, like delivery or hygiene option, we are gonna value your shirt, and then
We're gonna take your shirt, we're gonna drag in it, we're gonna wrap it in a paper.
plus
Yes.
you have a
And are you going to give me a minimum guarantee in terms of what price I'm going to receive and what is the minimum period between which I can receive?
You will receive price through the app instantly.
And it's a permanent swap.
Yeah, it's a permanent swap.
Permanent swap.
It's not renting.
No. Why would I subscribe to a premium if I'm not guaranteed that this price is what I'm going to receive for this particular piece of clothing that I've given to you?
If you upload a shirt, we will value that shirt first, and then we will take it from you and we will give you some virtual credits. That is your
That valuation process, that's really important, because I don't know, I'm not too familiar with the fashion industry, but I need to know what value of goods I have in this system. People are listing their clothes on your app. Other people are listing an intention to buy, and vice versa. So you need to have an idea of how much value of all goods listed on your app is, and one of the biggest problems is, since it's the person reporting themselves what the value is, it's just like when I exchange a laptop with Amazon. I'm going to say it's in perfect shape, even though someone punched the screen and the battery is dead and the thing was bitten by, I have dogs, so my dog. So there has to be some evaluation
Inspection.
process.
Yeah.
Inspection.
Yeah, we
But that's only a premium thing in your model.
Exactly.
That, as an investor, I would be a little bit afraid of that, because I'm like, okay, I'm giving you money to have people have bad experiences. Like that, if that verification process were built in for everybody, it would be a lot more interesting.
So have you heard about Cashify? Right. We have the same, in our expansion model, we have the same model like Cashify. We're going to come your home. So like for example, if you want to sell a phone, you got to say, if your screen is broken, like don't take that option, like it's not broken. But the guy comes at you, he inspects the phone, everything, and then he takes it and gives you the actual amount. So what we'll do in future, in expansion plan, what we'll do is like we're gonna send our team to you. You're gonna expect like a t-shirt, and they're gonna check that whatever you uploaded is right or not, and then we're gonna deliver it to the other party too, and we're gonna earn from that. But it's not our initial plan. The initial plan actually started.
It's to start with the community.
Yeah. Initial plan started like, for example, you're a college going hostel student. You don't have enough clothes. There's a guy like residing next hotel. So next hostel, sorry. So what you're gonna do is like you can swap your clothes with him legally through app. Like not like you can take my clothes and can take out my clothes. Not like that. You can actually swipe, and you'll be able to know that who is near you, who is ready to swipe with you. So that was the initial actually origin of the plan. Yeah. So then we added a couple of more virtual credits, and virtual credits are also redeemable. You can convert that into monetary currency. That's why it's a business like
I think that's more of a phase 2 thing.
exactly.
But my feedback would be to, you need to focus really on the operations and handle how the logistics is going to be.
Any business that doesn't know how much value it has on hand in terms of its actual thing, whether it's maids, whether it's goats, whether it's clothing, whatever it is, if you don't know exactly how much value you have, listed on your platform at any given time, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to actually follow and see what things made you profit and what things didn't. So the first thing I would do is, upfront focus on figuring out how much value you're getting from whatever clothes you're collecting, and how to price that. All of that kind of stuff is what I would want to see first. Because whether I'm in the fashion industry or not, I really don't know how to, there's no real good way to do this. So I think that's the thing you want to address first, and the community can come next.
As I said, that we have dedicated filters. So if you select a filter, it will give you that this is
That's
the
a UI thing.
This is the assumed value. You can decide value on your own, just like OLX, but this is the assumed value of the product. Through that filters, you will decide.
Fine. Cool.
Good.
Thanks.
Thank